Looking back over 2016, we now finally have an explanation for all those celebrity deaths at the beginning of the year. Clearly, they all just knew more than we did at the time. While this year was the year intelligence and everyone remotely known died, TV largely remained scandal-free. Apart from the Bake Off, the only thing I heard a lot about was a lot of fans angry at the X Factor, which, as someone who would rather staple gun my own temple than watch another episode of, I have some advice for those fans. Stop watching this egomaniacal festival of cuntery and then maybe it will fuck off and improve the human race by infinity%. But now that we're coming to the end of the arbitrary year, and people are going to start thinking, oh, maybe next year will be nicer, like a group of densely packed cows in a lorry, it's time to look back over the last year and flush the least worst tripe to the top of the televisual toilet, and plunge the pitifully putrid into a pit of shit. Top and bottom 5 of 2016, basically. Like the title suggested. Only shows reviewed by me, with the most recent series airing this year, are allowed to appear. Right, let's do this shit. Apart from wonky special effects and an understanding of horror akin to a badger's understanding of advanced differential geometry, Stranger Things was a joy to watch. An emotional and interesting homage to 80s films, apparently. This Netflix original is great, as long as they aren't tempted to wank off into a pile of money and make a second series. Don't ruin this, Netflix. I'm watching you. Sitcoms that aren't funny are sadly extremely common. It's a nice, easy way to make millions of idiot dollars. And true, Kevin Can Wait wasn't as bad as Rob Schneider's Real Rob last year. But we could stand around all day arguing whether the Orlando or Paris attacks were worse. They were both terrible. I'm fully aware that a second series of Westworld is already in the works. Not exactly sure what they'll do with it. I'm looking forward to it even though I don't think it'll be as good. I'm not sure how they could improve the next series, but I wouldn't be a very good TV critic if I offered decent artistic advice or could properly wipe myself. In either case, this was as good as a lot of twats say it was. Some say brevity is the soul of wit. It took me more than 3 minutes to get across my hatred of Crazyhead. Yet one commenter said he'd have preferred cutting himself on a plastic fork. Cheers to you, sir. Though if your tolerance is that low, I suggest turning off before the bottom 3 encourage a murderous rampage. While I would like to say something insightful about The Night Manager, the truth is April was such a long time ago I can't remember it properly. While I'd like to say it was because of my sex, drugs and rock and roll lifestyle, a more accurate description would be biscuits, wanking and self-loathing. What I do remember was it was awesome, in many ways, not least of which was Hugh Laurie, the dashing rogue. I fully expected this to get a mention. Before I watched I'm a Celebrity Get Me Out of Here, I guessed that my viewing experience would be a torturous endurance challenge, and whoa, was I right? It must be one of those occasional days that ends in a Y. Actually, in all fairness, the fact that this is only number 3 on my shit list beats my expectations by quite a way. Well done, I'm a Nobody, get me a shorter title. I hope you're proud. I feel slightly sick that this is on my list. What a predictable shit I am. Hark at me jumping on the overstuffed bandwagon to queue up for a quick tongue on Game of Thrones. But when you fill up your series with an overhaul of payoff and amazing character interactions, where the fuck else am I supposed to put it? 2016 fucked up the general population pretty hard. I don't think we as a population will be able to sit comfortably down until next May, but it's rather fitting that 2016 was the release of the first season of Shadowhunters. With dialogue so bad you'll actually try and sand down your own finger to create a sharp enough point in order to jab your own temple and bleed out. Worth avoiding. What else was it going to be? If you kept up with this year's videos, first of all, well done you, welcome to a club so exclusive it is literally just you. Secondly, you probably know exactly what I'm about to say. Black Mirror came back with a series so long it nearly doubled its entire back catalogue. While I was worried that this would oversaturate them, I was wrong. Black Mirror Season 3 was the best TV series of 2016, and I'm not just saying that for nepotistic reasons. After all, my marriage to Charlie Brooker is so secret even he is unaware of it. I remember thinking how bad it was that the X Factor captured people's attention enough to elevate wobbling plebs to the status of gods. Now thanks to this atrocious bucket of arse that took some of my favourite comedians and made them dance for money, I look back on the X Factor with a resoundingly positive thought of, at least the cunts actually sang. Thanks to Lip Sync Battle UK, I'm forced to lobotomise myself with a damp sponge to erase that blasphemous thought. I'd rather experience Brexit 5,000 times over and blow Trump rather than watch this again. Obviously I wouldn't, but there's no such thing as accurately representing your opinions for comic effect. Thanks for watching this shit this year. See you cunts in 2017.